One of my most popular videos of all time was the watch before you buy a Redmi Airdots. Since then, none of my videos ever reached the same amount of viewers again, and I couldn't monetize my videos back then, so that video didn't earn me much, if at all. But that's not very important. I succeeded at one thing that I set out to do. I'm glad that there are a lot of people who appreciate what I said and enjoyed the Haylou I recommended. Skip a year ahead, and I think you might want to go with the Redmi Airdots S instead of Haylou. Let's find out why.
Selamat pagi!
Good morning everyone, Kenneth here, and today we are talking about the updated entry-level Redmi Airdots S. And I tell you right now, one chip update is all it takes to make this thing legit good. What are the changes, you might ask? Nothing on the outside, that's for sure. But now, it uses dual mode and it has gaming mode. We'll see the latency test later, but spoiler alert, it is one of the lowest, the lowest number I have ever seen. And also we'll be comparing it with its main rival, the Haylou GT1, in every aspect you can imagine. And we'll talk about the Redmi's stubborn downsides as well. Some notes before starting, I bought this Redmi Airdots myself. Links are gonna be in the description. Would help me a lot if you could buy from those links. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Nice to meet you. Really appreciate it if you could subscribe. And if you have been on the channel, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you are excited, because I am. And we're gonna start with the most important aspect, the sound quality. Let's just straight up say this sounds better than the Haylou GT1, GT2, or GT1 Pro now. It's not as good as the GT1 Plus. It still sounds more natural and spacious there. But compared to the other models, the Redmi Airdots S has noticeably more punchy bass and more open high ends and vocals. In songs like Enter Sandman by Metallica, you can feel the guitar chug even more than the Haylou, while still having that detail in the upper end, and the vocal is like more spacious, you know? So right now, the Redmi excels even more in rock songs. I said that in my previous comparison. But now the bass is even better as well compared to the Haylou GT1. Songs like Attention by Charlie Puth is where you will notice it the most. There's like an extra boost in that lower end, and that gives it a bit more oomph than the GT1. So in the grand scheme of things, these two are both very balanced sound. The difference is subtle, but it's definitely noticeable. No matter if you're listening to rock, metal, pop, acoustics, you throw any genre at it and I think you'll enjoy it. The only thing that could be a problem is the volume. It's similar or a tiny bit louder than a Haylou, but I can still crank up my volume to 80-85%, whereas on the louder earbuds, it's more like 60 or 70% max for me. So in short, it's not the loudest, but it sounds great. And I think a lot of you will like it. Now, moving on. Let's talk about the build quality and fit. Because it's basically the same design from a year ago, my opinions haven't changed. The design and fit of the earbuds are very similar to the excellent Haylou. These earbuds fit pretty deep into the ear, which makes it a good choice for casual or even exercise use, and they never hurt even when listening for hours. The one thing that could make you lean towards the Airdots S is the physical button. In a budget world where it's increasingly difficult to find cheap earbuds without touch control, the Airdots is one of the few that sticks with good old button. It's not the best feeling button, mind you. It's harder to press on the outside compared to like smack in the middle. But when I usually prefer buttons, it's hard for me to say this physical button is an advantage because of the control scheme, which unfortunately stays the same crappy old Xiaomi controls. We'll talk about it later on. Right now, back to the design. The earbuds are so similar that if you try to put the Haylou earbuds in the Airdots case, it just goes in there like it's home. It's not charging, obviously. Moving on to the case, what I get is a Redmi logo here, and I bought this in Indonesia, and I think this is imported from China. My previous logo was the Xiaomi logo here, and currently it's Redmi, and I think no matter which logo you get, it's just a matter of region where you bought this from. So I've never seen something as like a fake Airdots. onto my problem with this case. Number one, I've had a couple times the earbuds are put back into the case but still connected to my phone. It's annoying, but when I look at it, it seems like the contact pins are fine here. So just keep that in mind, this could happen. Number two, micro USB charging port, crap. And no battery indicator whatsoever, crap. There's only one red LED light in front here that lets you know when it's charging. Number three, this still sounds like a candy box when you shake it. Number four, it's still very hard to take the earbuds out. You have to carefully pinch the earbuds and lift it up like that. You can't just use one finger to, try to pry it out. If you manage to pry it out, it will fall. And it's more like impossible for you to take the earbuds by grabbing on to the side. Well, I mean, I actually did it, but it's, not impossible. To be fair, the lid here is good. It doesn't topple to the back and the lid itself also stays open. That is actually good. Talking quickly about the battery life here, it has a 300 mAh battery inside the case and 43 mAh inside the earbuds. I've tested it on a gaming mode turned on with a 2-hour gaming session, and after that play music at 50% volume until it died, and it lasted just as claimed about 4 hours of playtime. And then the charging case here could take the whole thing up to 3 to 5 days of total use, just like the OG Haylou GT1. That is more like the standard battery life I've set, so no complaints here. By the way, you can find a detailed battery test in my special Twitter account at @TestedByKen. Lastly, let's talk about that controls. I won't talk too much because Xiaomi is just too stubborn to learn, or maybe they just don't care because people are buying their earbuds anyway. Across their lineup of true wireless earbuds, you only have player pause on one tap and voice control on double tap. Nothing else. Well, you do need to press 3 times to activate gaming mode, but it's not a music control. At least these earbuds tell you when the gaming mode is on, it's an ascending ding ding, and when gaming mode is off, it's a descending ding ding. I'll put a link to my tutorial on how to change the double tap to the next song. It's Android only, unfortunately, but if you're okay with controlling your music through voice assistant, then feel free to control your music that way. Now, it's finally time. Let's check out how it performs in latency test, and we'll discuss the results after that. So they really have upgraded their dynamic driver here, just like what they said in their marketing material. Okay, now let's talk about the frequencies. The highs are a bit more controlled, so you still get that cymbal sounds when you need to, but most of the time it's not the focus anymore. That's a good thing for many. A lot of trebles in the music may sound more detailed, but it's more fatiguing. Wow, did you see that? This is my first time I've ever got a sound playing first, then the display refreshes. That's why it was negative in the YouTube test. It was like 1 or 2, 3 frames behind when the screen refreshes. I've confirmed the audio, it was in sync, and I don't know, it's hard to believe. Even with gaming mode turned off, this thing is on par with what the Qualcomm chips are capable of. And in PUBG, this is the first earbuds I've ever seen with consistent 134 to 150 millisecond latency, basically below 200. The QCY T5 and Haylou GT1 and GT1 Pro are only capable of under 300 millisecond, and KZ at under 400 millisecond. So there are clearly different degrees to how fast a game mode works here. And right now, this Airdots S is king. This is gonna be my go-to recommendation if you want something to game with. All right, let's move on to the call test right now. Okay, so welcome to the call test right now. You are hearing from my iPhone 10 microphone. I'm about an arm's length as usual from my phone. And we're gonna check out how the Redmi Airdots S sounds and compare it a little bit to the Haylou GT1. So let's check out how fast it pairs. I'm gonna take the earbuds out from the case right now, and it starts making a sound there, and also, okay, they're paired and connected to the phone. What do you think of the sound quality? Did it improve from the last generation of the Airdots only and the Haylou GT1 and GT1 Pro, because the mics sound exactly the same when I did a comparison last year. So let's check out how this actually sounds compared to the Haylou GT1. Okay, so currently we are on the Haylou GT1, and this is the sound quality difference to the Redmi Airdots S. So what do you think of the sound quality difference? Right now we're doing an indoor call test. I'm in the corner of my room here. Let's see how these performs outside. All right, everyone, right now we are outdoors with the Redmi Airdots S. What do you think of the sound quality? Is this any different from the one we just hear indoors? Right now we're gonna compare it quickly with the Haylou GT1 and see how the sound compares. Okay, right now we are on the Haylou GT1. See if the sound is any different. In my experience, the Haylou GT1 and the GT1 Pro, which sound the same as the GT2 as well, they are not very good at phone calls. So is the Redmi Airdots now better than the Haylou, or is it just the same? That's it for the call test. Let's go upstairs and finish the video. Here we can also see that the Airdots S performs better than its main rival in both indoor and outdoor call test. It's clearer, it's louder, and when I was playing with my friends, everyone said my voice came out clear on their end. Alright, so let's sum up the video here. On the outside, the Redmi Airdots S may not look like much of an upgrade. And I think it's not wrong, maybe, if one just labeled this as, you know, another failure or another earbuds to avoid, and also you still don't get any charging cable inside. But that one thing that they upgraded is a much needed dual mode chip. And they didn't just make it on par with how the others perform, they surpassed them in terms of sound quality, call quality, and most importantly, the latency. Controls still suck though, because it's Xiaomi and because they can, but if you ask me right now, the answer whether to choose QCY or Haylou or Redmi is not as clear-cut as it was 1 year ago. Each of these brands' offerings are great in their own way. But now Redmi just came out on top, which definitely caught me by surprise. I am going to recommend this, especially if you game. If not, I can still recommend it if you are okay with the subpar case and the crappy control scheme, especially if you want something with a physical button. So that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are still here, I hope this video helped. Please share the video around if you know anyone looking for their first true wireless earbuds. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or ask me personally in my Twitter and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching once again. I'm Kenneth, and I will see you in the next one.